Hello, and welcome to the All Around Natural Beauty RN channel, where I'm passionate about helping victims of all ages and all genders overcome the fear of facing the abuse to become survivors. Because over here, we believe that it's not your fault if you are a victim. You can't help that if you were selected to be a victim. However, if you are still here, that means that you have the potential to be a survivor because whatever doesn't kill you makes you stronger. And if you did survive, you have a great opportunity to be able to help someone else out by embracing it, dealing with it, healing from it, and ultimately living as a survivor, right? Because we survivors here in the world today. So for those of you who don't know me, welcome, y'all. Welcome to the channel here. For those of you who don't know me, I'm 52 years old, and I'm a proud Gen Xer representing the children of the 70s because I was here. I was here before the internet. And so we got a lot of knowledge. We Gen Xers, we're very unique because we are old enough to have been here before the internet, and also young enough to be able to still blend in with this whole new internet, AI, all that good stuff. Hey y'all, I hope y'all hitting that like button on your way in here. Just hit the like button. Come on in and welcome. Well, oh, I can see some old school people up in the hizzy already coming in here. Thank y'all so much. Look here. Karen Halford. Hey, oh yeah, Karen. I remember that name. Yes, you was part of the whole set it off type of situation. Hello, RN in chat, and we got Ernie Williams from way back in the day. Ernie is a OG here. Thank you for continuing to show support for justice for Shanquella Robinson and Ernie Williams, who has been showing that support. And what's up, JP6? JP6 says, "What's up, people?" Hey, so that's cool. So today, I had a little comeback on what was it, a couple days ago. I went live for the first time in a month of Sundays, and just still put on my heart to continue to do this, and the support and the encouragement that folks have been giving, and also to the spirit just really been touching me to bring to remembrance that a lot of times these kind of things happen to get us to be weary in well-doing and get distracted and lose focus and start talking about other things. And so today I just want to do a recap, since we are soon approaching a year for this whole incident to have taken place and still no justice. And a lot of times when things is happening, like say you forget something, I've done this before, and I'm sure other people have too. You forget something, and a way to be able to remember it is to trace your steps, go backwards. So that's why I wanted to do this here recap, because a lot of times that's when you can find when the when they did the Bugs Bunny on you. That's another thing about being a Gen X. So we can take these learning experiences and also all of the different TV shows and cartoons and stuff that we had back then that was really giving out a lot of knowledge and stuff. So how Bugs Bunny used to do the little outsmarting thing. And that's how I felt like they did with us. And one thing that I did discover was I was kind of looking over the news back in April, I think 11th, when they came out with the story that the U.S. wasn't going, it wasn't enough evidence to press charges. Just like how we dissected when they tried to slip in and interchange the autopsy for the coroner's report, the death certificate, I really feel like, today I just put eyes on it again, and I was like, wait a minute, did they do a little trickaroo here with the words? Because they never said, they weren't particular. Anyway, we'll get to that a little bit later, but I just want to thank y'all and welcome y'all to the All Around Natural Beauty platform here, where we have been coming together under the umbrella for Justice for Shanquella, and that's been our not little, but our powerful social media platform coming together on one accord for that. And in the midst of all of this has been a very valuable learning experience on how society, or how the enemy will put in little distractions to separate, because that's how you're able to really win and conquer, is when you divide. It's divide and conquer, right? It's a saying for a reason. It's a saying for a reason. So again, I'd like to thank everybody for continuing to seek justice for Shanquella, and all of the people who have been taking time out of their lives to, continue with this and to actually do some things to seek some justice here. So I want to say again, thank you and welcome to the All Around Natural Beauty channel. So what we're going to do today is we're going to dissect it. We're going to go back. I wasn't sure if I want to go back to the very beginning, or kind of, I want to say, because I feel like when the U.S. said, when we got that news story back in April, that the U.S. said that there wasn't enough evidence to pursue, things kind of went mute, and it left the door open for us to start talking about other things that really wasn't pertaining to the case, like people's personal lives, family, and all that stuff, which has nothing to do with the facts of the case. And one of the things that we prided ourselves over here is that we were sticking with the math and science, and not trying to be emotional or personal, and sticking with math and science. So one of the first parts where we found the initial bones in the case was, but anyway, for those of you who don't know what happened, Shanquella Robinson was a 25-year-old young woman from North Carolina, who went on a trip with some acquaintance and was deleted back in October 29th of 22. And here we are, closely approaching a year. No one's been arrested. No one's been held accountable. And I want to say that from the beginning, that they have just been throwing out fake bologna sandwiches to distract us. And at no time was anybody serious about trying to prosecute. Even Mexico, we can, rip their story to shreds, because they were the ones who originally stated that there was no evidence of foul play. Then they changed their story when they were exposed through the video, and it was known that they let them go. Then they tried to trick us with a fake story that there was some CPR given and all that stuff. So y'all remember back when they was telling us that, right? We was breaking all that stuff down. So now when they told us that they weren't going to do any justice, people just stopped focusing on the facts, right? Then we started going back and forth with different stories that, just other ways to keep us distracted from staying focused on the truth, which is that she was, according to the death certificate, passed away from severe spinal cord injury and atlas luxation with a life expectancy after receiving those injuries of 15 minutes. Those are the facts. That hasn't changed, and it won't change. Those are the facts. And that's why it's important to stick to the facts, because that's how we're going to get the justice. Because after after um, after April 11th, when they said that, once we get into the story and stuff, read line by line and read between the lines, we'll be able to see how this was such a phony baloney. What you talking about, Ernie? Ernie says, I was wondering if you have seen the recent post from the young man Martin Lewis on YouTube about Khalid Cook most recent activity. The young man Martin Lewis was on your show once. Yeah, I know Martin. No, Ernie, I'm going to be honest with you. I haven't been keeping up with any of the stuff. Like I didn't see any new stuff, and when I did look, I didn't see anybody putting up any new stuff. And then, like I said, I try to stick with just the math and science. And as far as these people, the Cabo Six and stuff like that, I don't know. So what is he talking about, Khalid Cook? Anyway, y'all usually bring me the information with all these new stories and stuff. So what is Khalid Cook up to? That's the best friend who, to me, is the ringleader of the situation. That's how I was looking at it from back in the day. No, I hadn't seen Martin Lewis. Yes, he was on the show. And that's the other thing too. That's why I'm like, I'm knowing that something has to be on here, because why did all those people, come over here and, like Martin, he was the one who approached me. I hadn't even heard of him and all that stuff. So I don't know. Yeah, let's do some. What is this here? What's up, JP? JP6 says, I'm mad because it seems like they got away with it. Yeah. Yeah, and that's why, okay, so like the last couple of days ago when I did a little research to come up with things that we could do to continue to make sure that we get the justice, I feel you on that, because it does seem like that, right? It seems like that, and yeah. Wow. I feel you, JP. I really do. I do. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like, we need to stick with the facts of the crime that was committed, and all of the side information about these people and stuff. Really, it's kind of, I don't know. I wouldn't say it's irrelevant, but you know, the fact the facts are that Shanquella Robinson was beat to her demise on a video in the public. We saw it, like, we saw it. And one of the reasons why I think that we should continue to go over the facts and not stop doing that is because once we stop doing that, then we're not sensitive to that anymore. We don't see it as that crime. We're going back and forth into all these little silly details that don't mean anything. And in the meantime, they kind of trick us up with some fake information. What you say, JP? JP six. I hope people get voted out of these positions. Yes, and that's why I was saying back in the past, we need to get political here, because us just talking about it is not going to help anything. Nobody cares about people grouping together grumbling, and if you're not making any moves. And two, a few weeks ago, They was trying to, not trying to, but they were, doing some impeachment hearings on President Biden, right? And we saw that he supports a lot of this stuff that, is not good. And the reason why I believe that this whole situation with Shanquella is getting back burner or even off of the stove type of treatment is because of, certain political situations and stuff here. So, without further ado, we're gonna jump into our first story here, which I really want to go. I want to read that. I want to read that report here from April 11th, where when the FBI said their so-called thing. Let me see here. God damn, I just had it. It was from CNN. Uh-oh, that ain't it. It's from CNN. And let me see what Ernie talking about over here. Hold on one second. I'm gonna get you Ernie, see what you saying. Ernie says, I feel you, JP, but just hold on. God does his best work when we think all is lost. Yes, God's justice will prevail. Yeah, I feel that way too, because a lot of times that's how, even in the scriptures, it says that's how God shows his strength through our weakness, through our weakness. So, all right. So, let's just do this here. This is the story that I wanted to read over, I believe. Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna share the screen here, and we're going to pick through these bones because I feel like I just recently, a lot of times when you first see stuff, you may not notice it until you go back and look and say, oh, right there it is right there. Here we go. So let's see. This story come out on April 12th. I was close. April 12th, and it says U.S. prosecutors tell family of Shanquella Robinson they won't pursue charges in her death in Mexico. Okay, so this is kind of vague. This was the first thing that jumped out to me today was U.S. prosecutors. That's kind of vague, right? The U.S. is a country with 50 states in it, right? And multiple cities and districts and all kinds of stuff. So which U.S. prosecutors? And it says prosecutors with an S. Who is this referring to? Who is this? Who? Right? So I know at the time when this came out, I didn't question which U.S. prosecutor, tells the family of Shanquella Robinson they won't pursue charges in her death, right? Because I know, like, after this came out, this took the wind out of my sail a little bit, because after that we did have the march, the rally in Washington, D.C. that following month. But I know that after this happened, I felt kind of, a little, the air was taken out of me, right? So clue number one here, and this here is from CNN, right? CNN. Marcy Godfrey is the author of this story. All right, so we come on down here. CNN says federal prosecutors told the family of Shanquella Robinson. So federal prosecutors, that's still kind of vague there too. Wouldn't they put like, the district or something like that? Federal prosecutors told the family of Shanquella Robinson on Wednesday that the evidence they have isn't enough for prosecution in Robinson's death last year in Mexico. The evidence they have, all right? The U.S. Attorney's offices, the U.S. Attorney's offices for the middle and for the middle and western districts of North Carolina said, okay, so now they're going to narrow it down to these areas here, right? So remember a couple days ago when we was talking about, making sure that these offices or whatever these departments are being transparent with us. All right. So maybe we should demand some type of a statement on what how did they come to this conclusion, right? And two, if it's federal, then maybe if this office here is saying that we need to level it up because the buck can't just stop there with them, right? Robinson, a 25-year-old former student of Winston-Salem State University in North Carolina, died in October while staying in a luxury rental property in the Mexican state of Baja California Sur. Based on the results, and this is in quotations here, it says, based on the results of the autopsy. So we already know that the autopsy is not official, that the death certificate is the only official document. So here, and then where's the end of the quote? All right, so this is quoted, I wonder from who. Based on the results of the autopsy and after a careful deliberation and review of the investigation. Uh-oh. Hold on, y'all. My alarm is just going off. I'm gonna put on a video for y'all to watch. All right, let me get off of this, put on the video. All right, so let's watch this real quick while I go turn this alarm off. Ooh. All right, check this out.
So this father right here will mostly, on her about her, morals, respect, manners, setting goals in her life, just making sure that she don't look down on nobody, you know. Because a blink of an eye, you can be in that position the same like that person that you're looking down on. So always, respect your elders. Um, if you can help anybody in a kind of way to help them.
Mm.
But going through high school, junior high, I had obstacles. I had obstacles to deal with her because y'all didn't believe me. Now she got off. She got off the track a lot. But
All right, let's see here. This day,
yeah, that's just part of life. But
oh,
still at the
December
same time,
16th, right? It's the day after
as
her
that
birthday.
father
All right.
that made sure that you want an education, you want your daughter to be something, but be successful in her own way,
Uh-huh.
and to make sure that
Okay, I'm gonna get back to the story, right? And we will walk back here to dad in just a moment here. All right, JP6. I hope God does something in a hurry. Yeah, but don't forget that God uses us, right? Uses us. We have to be the vessels in order to, for God to use. That's how He shows the strength is through us. Yeah, I hope so too. The video should be evidence of the crime. What the hell is going on here? I don't know what's going on, y'all. My alarm's just been going off like this all day today. I'll get my strap. All right, I'll be right back. Let me go do this right now.
you know you put those qualities in her that she can go out here and do for her own. You're gonna have some ups and downs. That's what I tell her. But still, at the same time, you learn from your mistakes and you move on. And you move on. And you put yourself around people, positive people who going places. You know, I always tell her, if you're the smartest one out of 6 of y'all, 7 of y'all, then that's where you need to come. You need to start evaluating everybody that's in your circle, because you shouldn't be the smallest one out of that group around you or your group of friends. Not at all. If it is, you got a problem. You got a problem. I wasn't perfect at all, at a younger age, but as I grew, you know, I learned from the mistakes that I made in life. And, and I told myself I bring a daughter in this world, or a son in this world, that I definitely gonna be in their life, from day one. Make sure they had what they had, they weren't gonna go without. You know. I tell every young man, when you bring a child in this world, at some point in time, your life don't completely come to a stop. But
I'm sorry, y'all. All right. So let's see, where was I at? Video should be evidence of the crime. Yeah. Oh, we break down the story. Let's get back to the story. This story, I think we're gonna find some serious. Is that it? Yeah, some serious bones in it here. I agree with you, JP6. JP6 says, "Do you think this case qualifies for unburial?" God, the hell is this? Unburial of the body and do an autopsy again? No, and we ain't talked about that too before. Okay, I'm gonna play for y'all. It's a short video on what happens, because we went through before the death certificate and autopsy, two different things. So I'm gonna show y'all quick little video on what happens when they take the body to the coroner's office. So here, y'all watch this here video while I figure out what the hell's going on with it.
Inside Pierce County, we're going to join our medical examiner's team and see what goes into a death investigation. Let's go.
ME36 en route to case 0275. We are responding out to a 57-year-old female who was found unresponsive in her garage. And so we're going to go investigate the scene and then take her back to the medical examiner's office for an exam.
So here we're in the autopsy suite with our medical examiner, Dr. Klein. Dr. Klein, I know your team gets like 3,000 death reports a year. What are the kind of things that determine whether you take jurisdiction or not?
It's whether or not it is natural or there might be something unnatural relating to the death.
And it could be a crime. It could be whether they know what has happened.
Yeah, a lot of times it's someone who's found deceased outside of the care of a doctor, and you just don't know how they died.
Okay. All right, outside of the care of a doctor, right? So remember they gave us that little fake story that the doctors was there doing CPR and all this stuff, doing work for hours, between 1 to 3 hours and stuff like that, right? So here we go again, pointing out the lies, right? So no, I do not think it needs, any of that stuff needs to be done, because the death certificate, the only official document, lists the cause of death. Those autopsies are just distractions, both the one from Mexico and the one from the US. So, right? So we see here, this is
Our death investigators will be asking questions to determine whether or not something external to someone's natural disease could have caused that death.
So I know we have lots of different kinds of death. Can we learn more about those things?
Sure.
Dr. Klein, how does your team's job change when there might be a crime involved?
We're going to be heavily focused on recognizing evidence, collecting evidence, and preserving it. In this case, collecting multiple bullets that will then be preserved and then sent to the laboratory for testing.
Dang. Those gunshot wounds to the abdomen is a sure way to, for a person to die. People survive shots to the head, but more than, not more, but, to the abdomen those shots to the abdomen, because all of the organs are there and stuff too. So it's
After I do the physical examination in the autopsy suite, we have tissue that we look at under the microscope. On all the autopsies, we look at pieces of heart, lung, liver, kidney, brain. And we're looking for what's there and what's not there, depending on the case. This is a kidney, and there's this subtle finding of little bubbles underneath the nuclei. This person was actually in diabetic ketoacidosis and succumbed to natural disease. It's this part that is the most rewarding because you get to put everything together and provide answers for the family.
I'm here with Hunter Kane, who's a forensic autopsy technician. Hunter, can you tell me what some of the tools of the trade are?
Yeah, absolutely. Here we have our toxicology rack. It consists of many different vials that we would collect of bodily fluids at autopsy. This is also a DNA swatch card, which is useful for law enforcement investigation.
Remember, they had listed about 3 items on their list of material. Let's see what else this guy is saying that they need. Who was that? Mexico had listed like, what, 3 or 4 items?
Where we might have a homicide or suspicious, undetermined kind of case like that. Over here, I have a scalpel that I would use to incise. And then I also have a hemostat.
Hunter, tell me a little bit about your
They didn't have none of
education
that.
and why you took this job.
I have a master's degree in biological and physical anthropology, which is just a fancy way of saying that I looked at skeletons for 6 years. Something that is really interesting to me is how we can look at the skeleton and be able to figure out a person's sex or...
Y'all hear that? The bones. Remember how we was talking about the bones and the skeleton and all that good stuff? These bones don't lie. The bones tell all kind of stories. Bones, bones, bones. Foundation does not change.
Or genetic ancestry or their age even.
Yep.
So what does it feel like when you
And
are
sex.
part of the team that gives family closure about a lost loved one?
It's bittersweet, you know. Of course, it's wonderful that we are bringing that closure to that family, and it's really important work. We kind of take on the sad so that it's not as sad for them anymore.
So Hunter, thank you very much for the very important work that you do for our community.
Thank you.
Dr. Klein, I know sometimes people find bones out in the woods. Do they bring them to your office?
Yes, they do.
Then I've told y'all that before. They find the skeletal remains in the woods. And that's the true thing. Things they find this kind of skeletal remains. Let's see what she got to say about these here skeletal remains.
Most of the time, they're going to be non-human bones, like this. On occasion, it's going to be a human bone. Then it becomes a potential crime scene, which then launches a whole criminal investigation. I have an interesting and tragic example of that. When I worked in New Mexico, it all started with someone walking their dog and they found a bone and brought it to the medical examiner's office, and it turned out it was human. Over a period of time, it was discovered that there were multiple victims of a serial killer who buried the victims in the New Mexico desert.
Dr. Klein, your team does such important work bringing closure to deaths in our community one way or the other. So thank you very much for the work that you and your team do.
Thank you very much. I want to emphasize that the medical examiner's office is not just one person. We work as a whole team of dedicated professionals in order to try to bring some answers to the family.
Thank you.
All right, so that was just a little quick something that y'all see that there's a division of people that do this kind of stuff. But no, I don't think it qualifies. We don't need to do that. And that's another way they just trying to get people to chase their tails, because the death certificate, and that's why I need to go on back to this original beginning. In the beginning, when the autopsy, the videos were talking about the death certificate. Hey, here. What's up, Robert Kennedy? Robert Kennedy says, greetings, Natural Beauty. Hello. Thanks for coming. Thanks for commenting. Ernie Williams says, I will continue to pray for this brother. God bless him. What brother? Oh, you're talking about, Who are you talking about? Kali or what are you talking about? Kali Cook or who's that other person you know? Who are you talking about, Ernie? You praying for who? Let me go on back up here. Or Martin Lewis. Yeah, I don't know. Well, prayers are always good. Thank you, Ernie, for your prayers. For your prayers. For your prayers here. All right, so on God. Okay. Rob Kennedy. What's up, Empress Sharon? Oh, okay. You got your chain. All right. Hey, looking pretty too. Got you a nice new pic. What's up? Salute all around Natural Beauty. Great catching up with you. I know I'm catching up too. I kind of was I don't know. I don't know. It got to me too. So it was working. Be quiet, and I was quiet. And we giving salutes and greetings to the chat and all that good stuff too. And JP6, hey, oh, look at here. What's up, PM channel? All right. And you really have motivated me. You know, I'm so proud of the work you're doing and what you're doing on your channel, PM channel. It's been doing a lot of videos, and she is very proactive in getting justice for Shanquella. And she says, hello, all around Natural Beauty RN and all in the chat. Love the white. Oh, he looks so pretty. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Yes, my angelic look. And I always love you. All right. Ernie says, Brother Robinson. Oh, that's right, because I did have that video. I'm sorry, I did get distracted because that alarm, I don't know, it's been acting weird. Today it's going off and stuff. So yes. Okay, thank you for clarifying. I was like, you praying for Kylie? Thank you, Ernie. Ernie's like, no, I was talking about Brother Robinson. Yes. And like I was saying before too, whenever anytime we've seen Mr. Robinson, Shanquella's dad, it's almost like he's just by himself, right? So he definitely needs the support and prayers of all of us. So I wanted to go back here. Let me go back to find an old one here. When this first came out and they were putting that death certificate out there, and keep in mind, y'all, that the death certificate was the first, and it's the only official document. Mexico didn't put their autopsy out until March, and U.S. didn't put their autopsy out until April, right? So the murder took place October 29th, November, December, January, February, March. 5 months took Mexico to put theirs out there, and 6 months for the U.S., right? Then they told us that they had did that in a few hours after her body was returned here to America. So again, what we was doing earlier was going through reading the document or the news story that they put out there when they said, wasn't enough information. And I just wanted to highlight it because I felt like it was pretty vague with the wording, how they were writing it. So let's get back to that document since it's kind of quiet now. And I don't think the alarm will be going off again anymore. All right, so here we are. Let me share. All right, so our first little concern here was in the title, how vague it was. Like they didn't say exactly who, just as U.S. prosecutors tell the family if they won't pursue charges. And first, this just sounds like not how a prosecutor would talk to just say something so permanent. A lot of times they may say at the time or something like that, but to just say won't, this just doesn't sound, it sounds suspicious to me. It sounds suspicious. And then to say that the evidence they have isn't enough, right? When the death certificate and the video, shows this heinous act. How much more evidence could you need, when you have a video, right? You have a video and you actually see the death injury on there. Then it goes down here, and this part of the story is in quotation. I can blow this up. Make that bigger. Anyway, I can't. Based on the results, it's in quotations. We'll figure out who this is being quoted from. Based on the results of the autopsy, and then here's another key word right there, autopsy, right? When we know that the death certificate is the only official document that is like a birth certificate or a passport. It's official and you only get one, right? So based on the results of the autopsy. So this here to me, kind of, we can rule out them saying that because this ain't official anyhow, right? This ain't official anyhow. So this is them trying to hurt us and treat us like dummies. And after careful deliberation and review of the investigative material by both U.S. Attorney's Office, federal prosecutors informed Ms. Robinson's family today that the available evidence does not support a federal prosecution. All right, so then that's the end of the quotations. Does not support a federal prosecution. So does that rule out a local or state or something like that, right? There's other opportunities here. The U.S. Attorney's Office said in a release on Wednesday, family members are very deeply disappointed in the decision, but are not deterred, right? I think, and plan to continue to seek justice for Robinson, their attorney, Sue Ann Robinson, said in a news conference. All right. Family members are, okay, so I read that. Black and brown people always have to carve their own path to justice. All right, so this quote is coming from Sue Ann Robinson, apparently, right? And we did hear her actually say this verbally on a news video. Attorney Robinson said, Shanquella Robinson was a Black American from North America. So here's another way to just get us distracted so we can start thinking that this is about race. A copy of Shanquella Robinson's death certificate. So now here we go. They see how they try to switch it up? Up here, y'all said the autopsy results, right? Now we come down here and y'all say a copy of Shanquella Robinson's death certificate. So if you're not careful, when they switch up these words like this, and try to make you feel like it's interchangeable, when these is two different documents, two different things, a copy of Shanquella Robinson's death certificate obtained by CNN affiliate WBTV listed the cause of death as severe spinal cord injury and atlas luxation, which is instability or excessive movement in the uppermost neck vertebrae. The document stated she was found unconscious in the living room of the rental residence on October 29th. The death certificate classified Shanquella Robinson's death as accidental or violent, noting that the approximate time between injury and death was 15 minutes. video posted online appeared to show a physical altercation inside a room between Shanquella Robinson and another person. And another thing I want to bring out too is that when Mexico apparently said that they were, that they have an extradition request for a perpetrator, they never listed a name. This is more fake stuff. If they had a real warrant for an arrest, how come no name was mentioned, right? This is all more little stuff so we can feel like something's being done. Nothing's being done. This is baloney. This is BS with a capital B. A video online appeared to show a physical altercation inside a room between Shanquella Robinson and another person. It's not clear when the video was taken or if the video depicted the moment she suffered the fatal injury. Yes, it does. At that time, Bernard Robinson confirmed to CNN it is his daughter seen in the video being thrown to the floor and beaten on the head. Yeah, because remember, they even tried to say that it wasn't, they tried to throw out more lies, and we said here that, family identified, and then also said she was naked. It's unclear what led to the altercation or how many people were in the room at that time. It is also unclear if anyone tried to intervene. That's not unclear. We saw that no one tried to intervene because we saw we saw all of it. We saw all of it. The FBI conducted a detailed and thorough investigation of the evidence and worked with the Robinson family to conduct an autopsy in the United States by medical examiner office in Mecklenburg County, North Carolina, the release said. Federal officials met with the Robinson family and hey, wait a minute. I didn't remember seeing the dad in the when they showed them coming out of the FBI's office. Something ain't right on that. I need to I don't remember the dad being there. They would have to have spoken to both the parents. That's interesting. Something's fishy here. The federal office met with the Robinson family and representatives on Wednesday. Because there's a reason why the dad is not participating in any of these marches and all this stuff, to offer their condolences and present the findings of the federal investigation, the release said. According to Attorney Robinson, the family was told that the FBI interviewed Shanquella Robinson's travel mates and people who were in the house, but did not specify how many people they interviewed. The U.S. officials told the family that the autopsy, now see how they just switched it back to the autopsy. Why is the U.S. officials speaking about the autopsy when that's not official? And look how they changed the name from, now it's just U.S. officials. What happened to the prosecutors? See, I didn't notice this the first few times that I read it. The U.S. officials told the family that the autopsy, which was completed after Shanquella Robinson's body had been embalmed and transported back to the U.S., revealed no spinal cord injury, but did show swelling on the brain. Although the cause of death is still said to be undetermined. Now, see, this is all lies here because the death certificate listed the cause of death. The death certificate is like the birth certificate. This whole story here is a big old bone. All of that. See? See how they throw these bones up in here? The autopsy didn't reveal the spinal cord injury. But did show, how could they even write this book? This is crap. The attorney criticized what she considered a delay on the part of U.S. investigating agencies, saying they waited to investigate until after their own autopsy was conducted. Now, we've seen, I don't know how many of y'all have watched those shows like those Forensic Files and all that stuff. They have exhumed bodies from being in the grave for years, being embalmed and in the grave for years. Being embalmed has nothing to do with the autopsy. This here is more baloney stuff. They're like helping to give excuses for why they're not going to prosecute. So, you know. And like I said, look at how they keep switching up the words so we can just be dizzy and not stay focused on the death certificate, right? So that's how they do when they put the lies in there. They'll read the truth out there, then they sneak in the lie by switching up a few words. When they spoke here, the death certificate, right? And here you go. A copy of Shanquella Robinson's death certificate obtained by CNN. See, so the news didn't get, they didn't ask for no autopsy. They got the copy of the death certificate because it's the only official document, right? So CNN here talking about the death certificate. The death certificate, right? Which lists the cause of death, severe spinal cord injury, and atlas luxation, right? But then we drop down here, and then they switch into sneak words, autopsy. See? The officials, FBI, none of them ever quoted the death certificate. None, they have avoided the death certificate. None of them talking about the death certificate. Why? Because the death certificate is the only official document. It's the only thing that counts. The rest of this is just some, smoke and mirrors. Smoke and mirrors. There was no swift action on this case. This is more story here. There was absolutely no urgency on the part of the U.S. attorneys, Sue Ann Robinson added. If you wait till 5 months after someone committed a crime, they would have the opportunity and time and space to delete text messages if that's what they wanted to do, to talk to each other about the case, the attorney said. Now, we go back to some of the original videos. They had already supposedly pulled these IP addresses. They were saying this back in November. So they didn't wait 5 months to start the investigation. The investigation supposedly was taking place back then. We also have the stories and videos that show that the FBI supposedly got on the case back in November 16th or 17th, if I'm, not mistaken. So if they did this back then, why did it take them 6 months to put out their findings? 5 months to put out their findings, right? It's how we can see that this is these are lies. Lies, lies, lies. Federal officials said, which federal official? See how vague they go back to being vague. Remember how I was reading that one story and I was showing y'all how when they tell the lies, they'll be specific on certain details and then they'll get vague. So, right? So then you kind of get lost in it. Federal officials. Which ones? said they do not normally issue public statements about the status of an investigation, but in this case, they felt it was necessary because the public concern surrounding the case. So basically, they're saying that they put this out here so we could, chill out because everybody was all riled up and, ready to seek some justice here. It is important to reassure the public that experienced federal agents and seasoned prosecutors extensively reviewed the available evidence and have concluded that federal charges cannot be pursued, the statement said. Wow. Prosecutors in Mexico said last year they were investigating Robinson's death as a femicide, a crime defined as a crime defined as the intentional murder of a woman because they are women. And see how they're trying to alter the true definition of this. In most countries, including the United States, femicide is not different from homicide in criminal law. But Mexico is among at least 16 countries that have included femicide as a specific crime. The family plans to hold a march to the State Department headquarters, Washington, D.C. on May 19th, 200th day since Shanquella Robinson's passing, according to the family's attorney. The message cannot be that U.S. citizens can go overseas and commit crimes against other U.S. citizens and come back and say they are unbased. That was a great point there. That they're safe, that they're not going to be arrested. That they're going to be such a delay in the investigation that the evidence will have time to dissipate, she said. Okay, so when we go back to the old videos, we can see that the FBI and all that was supposedly on the case in the beginning. PM Channel says Ernie was talking about Bernard, praying for Bernard. Thank you, PM Channel. I appreciate y'all. Y'all know something. I'll be all over the place. And yeah. So, and more salutes and all that good stuff too. All right. So back to the story here. I'll do this here. Now I'm going to go back to an old video because, like I said, if we continue to just move forward in the beginning without going, no, well, Mexico is here. We could totally forget about these here things. All right, so here is, what is this, disclaimer? Okay, so even Nancy Grace, like what happened with her? Where is she at now? And how were we able to get her to be quiet on this stuff here? All right, so here's some stuff here. We'll focus a little bit on the dad. The Mexican definition is. Yeah. Hey, Raw, I see you down there. What's up, Raw? Says hello and greetings to everybody in the chat. All right, so we're going to stay focused on this here. That's all we need. And actually, what I want to do is play. Oh, like I said, a channel dedicated to helping victims of all ages and genders. And we saw that we have highlighted other folks up here too that's lost loved ones and all that stuff. All right, so here is this it here? All right, so here we go. Dejanay worried about Shanquella Robinson. Let's see, what is this? All right, so I got some old stuff here too, y'all. I haven't peeked at this in a minute here to see who is this. All right, so here we're gonna go. This here is from. It's only a little 8-minute video. Uh-oh. Okay, all right. So let me pause this. This here is from the Lionel B show. All right, so it's a 8.5-minute video, and this was back in December 9th. All right, so it's been a minute. I haven't seen this since we did it back then. So let's pick out these little inconsistencies and see what the folks were saying back then before they had time to come up with new stories.
Into the channel. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe on the videos, man. Also, make sure y'all click that notification bell button so anytime I drop a brand new video, y'all be the first ones to get it. Now, guys, things are kind of lining up just a little bit, man. As Shanquella Robinson, she recently sat down with the news station. She indicated so many shocking things that kind of can put this case into perspective.
Okay.
So we already know we caught Dejanay Jackson on video actually putting the pause on Shanquella Robinson. Well, guys, some more information has recently come out indicating that Shanquella Robinson, she actually received a mysterious phone call from somebody while they were at Cabo. Now, a lot of people are wondering, like, who would potentially have her phone number?
Yeah.
And did they actually go through her phone and actually unlock her?
All right, let's see here. This says Federal Bureaus of Investigation. Shanquella Robinson says the sex. All right. I thought it was going to be something. All right.
Her phone. It's things that make you go, Now, all signs would definitely point to Khalil Cook, as he was actually allegedly her best friend. So I'm pretty sure they shared some intimate details. But also, she received calls from Khalil Cook. So I don't really think the call came directly from Khalil Cook, but he probably the phone number to one of the Cabo 6 and was like, hey, call her. Or maybe somebody else got the number, because apparently she wasn't that close with all of them except Khalil. So that's definitely a mysterious thing, man. I definitely think Dejanay Jackson, of course, she is worried at this point, because right now that basically shows that they're not in allegiance anymore. You know, apparently they got together, they teamed up on the girl, they took her out, but somebody within their organization switched out and called the mom. Now, did they switch out to kind of protect themselves? And also, why didn't the mom ask who it was on the phone? Like, who is this? Because generally you get a phone call, you know, even if it's a lot going on.
All right. This morning, investigation into American's death in Mexico. Prosecutors seek to extradite acquaintance of Shanquella. Oh, Mexico prosecutors seek to extradite. Okay, so they've been seeking to extradite for a minute now.
Oh, no, you be like, oh, well, you know, can I have your name? Something to that effect. I'm going to play this clip from this news station so you guys can check it out. And let's kind of try to figure out, guys, who do you think actually made that particular phone call?
I got a call from somebody, I didn't even know who it was. And they said that they was over there fighting that girl.
Wait a minute. Let's look at her eyes when she say that, which way they look. I had a call from somebody, I didn't know who they was.
Made that particular phone call.
I got a call from somebody.
All right. Eyes looking to the left. Y'all see that? Pull it back just a little bit and listen to the words. What she just said. I didn't.
Particular phone call.
I got a call from somebody, I didn't even know who it was. And they said that they was over there fighting that girl. And that's the way they left it, just like that.
So someone just called you, said that, and then hung up.
And hung up. So they was over there fighting. I don't know why they keep talking about alcohol poison.
Now, guys, I'm wondering if it was the Elise Everett girl. You know, the one that everybody think was so.
My thing is, why didn't she narrow it down? Was it male? Was it female? You know, at the time, did you not know who it was? You know later, like there's a big hole there. There is a gap. There's the gap.
So innocent, the one that tried to paint herself out to be, you know, this upstanding young woman. So I wonder if it's Elise, though. Seriously, I want y'all to kind of think about that. Now, we definitely know it wasn't Winter, because Winter allegedly was the one that actually body slammed her, and quite presumably probably dealt the fatal blow that took her life. Before that, you know, as far as Dejanay Jackson, it looks like, you know, she might have survived it, but it looks like with the additional damage that Winter actually did, as well as some others, you know what I'm saying, on that particularly brutal attack, it had to be someone out of that 6 guys that actually was sitting back making that phone call. Somehow they had the mom's phone number, and I'm pretty sure they got it from Khalil. Khalil's probably feeling bad, and the chick was like, "Yo, let me get the phone, or what's the mom's number?" Because I'm pretty sure he had her number. There's family friends, you know, so it's almost definitely that he definitely had the mom's phone number, and he was probably like, "Hey, just call and say this, and that, and then hang up." But at the same time, like, if that was the case as well, why would you fly all the way back home and go to Shanquella's mom's house and actually sit there and tell her a story knowing she already got a phone?
Okay. Like I said, I hadn't seen any of these in a good little minute here. I'm gonna go back, find something else. Some news stories. All right, here we go. That's why I want to do this one. All right, so this here is a lawyer explaining something here. Let's see. All right, here we go. And again, to me, this helps to debunk all this. Come back here. This helps to debunk all the crap about the U.S. saying what they can't do. And this is from CNN. All right. This here is December 14th, 2022. All right. Let's see here what this says. It says, lawyer explains how the Shanquella Robinson investigation can go.
How does the extradition process, or how would it work between the U.S. and Mexico? Do the two countries cooperate on cases like this?
Yes, they do, Jim. Good morning to you. So I think there's 2 ways this can play out. We know that Mexican authorities now are looking, and with regard
right? So this here is in December. Mexico is now looking, but they wasn't at first, right? Remember, this was supposed to be no foul play. So now Mexico is supposedly looking. Let's go back this little bit here. Say again.
We know that Mexican authorities now are looking, and with regard to the arrest warrant for the extradition, that is to have the party or parties brought back to Mexico to be held accountable. And if they do that, I think what you'll see is the Department of Justice involved. We have an Office of International Affairs. We have a robust extradition.
Maybe that's who we need to talk to, this Office of International Affairs, since, you know, those Mecklenburg folks ain't trying to do nothing.
Proceeding, and we have actually a treaty with Mexico that's been in existence for some 45 years. And so there is cooperation. So on the one hand, you could see Mexico engage in the prosecution. On the other, we certainly have a statute in the United States that would provide for our government to be involved and the federal government to prosecute a foreign national, right? What happens is, just to be clear in terms of that statement, in the event that you go overseas and an American citizen is ultimately killed by another American citizen, there's a statute that could provide for the prosecution to take place.
Wow. See, so there's opportunity, there's options that could do something. So they're choosing not to. These are choices. Gotta find out what that statute is.
Prosecution to take place in this country. So we'll see which
that. Remember, I was saying back in the beginning that we need
in this country. So we'll see which way.
Just a little.
Other American citizen, there's a statute that could provide for the prosecution to take place in this country. So we'll see which way it plays out ultimately.
Given the timeline here, a number of weeks since this took place, I mean, the role of folks on the internet kind of keeping this story alive, et cetera. I mean, did Mexican authorities drop the ball in the initial stages of this? And could that affect the future of the investigation?
So it certainly could, because with any investigation and with any crime scene, you want to preserve it, right? At the end of the day, you have to know and understand that the evidence that you have is gathered appropriately, that the crime scene would not otherwise be contaminated, that the autopsy was done properly. And so, yes, there could be some challenges there. Having said that, with the FBI involved now, I'm sure that they'll undertake an investigation, which is quite significant. They will be working with Mexican authorities. They will be all over the area where it occurred to try to get answers. So no investigation is without flaws, Jim, but ultimately I think justice could be served here if the investigation to this point, knowing what they know, is done properly.
First, how does the extradition?
So my thing is, I never heard that U.S. even went to Mexico to do an investigation. So what this is the first time that I'm knowing that, the people are supposed to present their own evidence for the case. Like, what investigation did they do aside from their autopsy? There's no, they didn't do an investigation. So they have been offending Shanquella's rights as an American citizen this whole time. All right, so that's that from a lawyer. All right, so I'm going to find some more news clippings here. It's showing how the U.S. just been in Mexico too. Every time something comes out there, they just kind of swerve around it and give up a new story about why they're not able to do it, and pointing the finger on the other folks here. So let's see here. Go all the way back to the beginning here. All right, so here's something on the, oh no, we just saw that. Oh, the one on the dad. And how y'all doing out there tonight too? What's up, PM Channel says, I have been emailing the Department of State, Secretary of State, Anthony Blinken, to expedite the extradition. All right, cool. So this is the state for North Carolina. Yeah, so let me, PM Channel has been doing some remarkable work here. I'm super proud and inspired by PM Channel too. Y'all check her out and support too. Like I said, the other day I went over those 10 things that we could do, and this here is one of them. This whole emailing them and getting out there, joining together. We need to continue on with what we're doing here. And never give up. Never give up. All right, so let's see here. Okay, let's see what we did that. Sorry, y'all. All right, so here we go with, all right. This is from 11/17. All right. Uh-oh. That. And then what I want to do is, I have a video somewhere, how to find it. The dad, after the FBI said that in his whole, standing strong on that whole death certificate thing. So he's not worried about that.
It's like a nightmare, man. It's I can't even sleep.
November 17th.
I'm just frustrated. My heart is just aching, man. And as a father, man, a praying man.
Bernard Robinson is begging for answers about how his daughter, Shanquella, died last month in Cabo.
I just want some truth, because this don't even add up right.
He says he and his wife were told Shanquella.
All right, again, this is all they were showing this for months. The death certificate. The death certificate. So I don't even know how anybody is able to get distracted with these autopsies that came out months afterwards. Everybody should be thinking to just toss that out, to see that is a trap. That is, it's a lie. Look here. This is November 17th. Only thing that we saw for months is this death certificate, which is the only official document.
Shanquella died of alcohol poisoning, but the autopsy says she died due to injuries to the spinal cord and neck. A video has now also surfaced showing someone attacking Shanquella.
Through the grace of God, I think I'm gonna get to the bottom of it, sir. God not gonna fail. It's gonna come out. It's gonna come out.
Information out of Cabo authorities has been difficult to obtain, so I called phone.
Wow. Now he said information from Cabo authorities been difficult to obtain, right? Mexico didn't give us that baloney until this video was out there trending, going viral. They wasn't saying nothing.
Numbers associated with all of her friends who went on the trip.
The subscriber you have dialed is not in service.
Most of the numbers are now disconnected, but 2 of them went straight to voicemail.
Sorry, mailbox is full.
I texted both of them and also paid them a visit since they have Charlotte addresses. No one answered at the first store, and the same with the second. And while no one was home when I rang the doorbell this afternoon, a neighbor did tell me this morning they spotted CMPD outside this person's home. I sent an email to CMPD asking why they were there. CMPD says they are not involved in the investigation since the case happened in Mexico. Wow. I also sent an email to the records division asking for a police report, and I was told it will take 24 hours for it to be available. As Channel 9 continues to seek answers, so does Shanquella's dad.
So a police report?
I'm not giving up. I am not giving up. I'm very confident that I'm gonna have a peace of mind.
Yeah. All right. Wow. Maybe that's who we need to contact too, that news guy that was doing all that information in the beginning. All right. So here is. No, I don't want that. Trying to find some more small ones. Better. All right, let's see here. What is this? Okay, here we go. So what's up? Mama Dukes says the Department of Justice needs to step down due to conflict of interest since one is related to Elise Hyatt and one is related to Kalia Cook. Really? And see, wow. So that should be something we could all demand if this is true. And a lot of times, if we start getting distracted talking about other things, this is how they get away with this kind of stuff. I don't know. How do you know this? That there's some relation. I've heard this too before, Mama Dukes. But what's the proof? It's like, is this just rumors, us talking about it, or do we know for sure? Because I'm feeling like something has to be a reason how they're able to, get this immunity like this. right, so this here is a video from December the 1st. It's called Verifying Fact-Checking Viral Claims in Shanquella Robinson's Case, okay? Like I said, it's been months since I've seen any of these two, so I like to go back and watch the old stuff because you can see when the story changed, right? In the beginning is when you can, it's more believable.
As Shanquella Robinson's family continues to search for answers in the death of their daughter, some are claiming a suspect has been arrested in the case. The 25-year-old Charlotte woman mysteriously died while on vacation with a group of friends in Mexico. They've issued an arrest warrant for one of the people on the trip, but some articles are saying that person has been arrested. Wake Up Charlotte's Megan Bragg verifying these claims.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and this is the article that...
Remember this, y'all? All right, look at that article there, right? This, yep. All right, so let me see this date again. So December 1st, they ripped this out back then. So, but of course, look here. This ain't it as much. We ain't talk about it as much. All right, here we go.
Has been circulating on social media. It claims that there has been an arrest in the Shanquella Robinson case, but we wanted to walk you through the article because there are some red flags here. When someone reports and shares claims that are not verified, this is how misinformation spreads. First, the headline suggests DeHaan Jackson was arrested in the United States. As of now, Mexican authorities have not publicly even named a suspect.
Yeah, which to me even leads to further suspicion because why haven't they named the suspect? Everything is so vague. Like if there is a real arrest warrant, why can't we know the name? Why? Because there's not one. This is this is a chase your tail type of thing.
They have issued arrest warrants, but haven't said who the warrants are for. Then the article goes on to say Jackson was arrested by Interpol agents. So what is Interpol? According to the U.S. Justice Department, Interpol is an international police organization which provides investigative support and secure communication between law enforcement authorities. However, the Justice Department says Interpol does not have its own law enforcement agents. The article also states the arrest was made on November 28th. However, it does not give a time. It doesn't reveal exactly where Jackson was supposedly arrested or where she was booked. In the United States, when someone is arrested, they are usually booked into a detention facility, and that information is generally public and available for reporters to refer to in their stories. We also spoke with Shanquella Robinson's father. He tells us he has not been made aware of an arrest yet. The FBI also tells us this is an active and ongoing investigation. So we want to remind you to double check what you see online and on social media. Of course, if and when an arrest is made and we can confirm it, we will send you an alert through our WCNC mobile app.
All right, so interesting that they had kind of, debunked that, days after that came out, right? But everybody was running with this story. Even me, I was one, did report on it or do a live on it after a little while. And then, kind of went off to the next thing here. All right, let's see, what is this one here? All right, so this is, okay. Yeah, so we were talking about, all right, hold on, I'm about to check to see if this is, Attorney's family asked for federal help, and okay. This is dated. Okay, this is when the Ben Crump and all that people got involved in there. So let's see what they were saying back then. All right, I'm gonna share this with y'all here. Cause they ain't saying nothing nowadays either. And this says attorney's family asked for federal help in Shanquella Robinson case.
Any Black woman, we're going to fight for that because it's deserved. It's our right as U.S. citizens.
Loved ones and lawyers for Shanquella Robinson are outraged.
Okay, this
Federal
they said the no charges. So this is back from April 12th. So I think this is the video of the
investigators told them they will not press charges in her mysterious death in Mexico.
All right, here we go. Where's the dad? Where is the dad?
That update now means any legal action on her fatal trip to Cabo will come from Mexican authorities. We streamed that news conference live on our WSOC app around 2 o'clock this afternoon.
Channel 9's Joe Bruno was there. And Joe, the family, they're telling you that they're not losing hope in this search for justice, even with this news.
Disappointed but not deterred. That is the message from Shanquella Robinson's family and attorney. While charges from the U.S. will not move forward, the case in Mexico remains open.
That Black and brown people always have to carve their own path to justice.
The family of Shanquella Robinson says their path to justice is long.
Look at their faces. I'm gonna pull back just a little bit. And they've just been told that no charges are going to be, that they won't pursue any charges. You see the body language too. But look at the faces. Look at their faces. It's only like 2 minutes, y'all. This is, all right, let's see. Even this, them walking out like that. Look at this. What is this?
Crime is Shanquella, or whether it's any Black woman, we're going to fight for that because it's deserved. It's our right as U.S. citizens.
Loved ones and lawyers for Shanquella Robinson are outraged. Federal investigators told them they will not press charges in her.
Okay. Who is that? Sister.
Her mysterious death in Mexico.
That update now means any legal action on her fatal trip to Cabo will come from Mexican authorities. We streamed that news conference live on our WSOC app around 2 o'clock this afternoon.
Channel 9's Joe Bruno was there. And Joe, the family, they're telling you that they're not losing hope in this search.
But did we hear any other news aside from North Carolina news? Because this guy, these are North Carolina news people here. Did we hear it from any other news people? It's like, I don't know. Because, when I heard it back in April, I, just accepted it too. But now, in hindsight, looking back, I'm like, is this, like a story that they put out there that they're all in on to tame us here? Okay, let's keep watching.
For justice, even with this news.
Disappointed but not deterred. That is the message from Shanquella Robinson's family and attorney. While charges from the U.S. will not move forward, the case in Mexico remains open.
That Black and brown people always have to carve their own path.
Because now this gives a platform for this whole, race issue, right? Black and brown people got to carve their own path, and it gives a platform for something else, right? Let's just keep watching this.
To justice.
The family of Shanquella Robinson says their path to justice is longer and more complicated.
Where is the dad?
They met this morning with the FBI in Charlotte and were told the U.S. will not be filing charges in this case, a case that has captivated the nation. 26-year-old Robinson traveled to Cabo in October with a group of people she
He got her age wrong. She was 25.
Considered friends.
This is fake.
She never came home. Family says they were told she died of alcohol poisoning.
Yeah.
But an autopsy in Mexico said she died of a broken neck and spinal cord. And a video also surfaced of her being attacked by another woman on the trip.
United States citizens cannot go to Mexico, commit a crime that we all saw on a video, and then come back to America and say, we're on base, we're safe, we're not going to be charged with a crime.
Despite the Mexican autopsy saying.
All right. Now, see, he just contradicted himself, right? Because first he said okay, pull it back just a little bit. All right. Wait. Let me just finish this little part.
She died of a broken neck and spinal cord.
Says Mexican autopsy says spinal cord neck injuries. U.S. autopsy, no sign of spinal cord and neck injury. Both of these autopsy, where's the death certificate? Y'all gonna talk about that?
Mecklenburg County medical examiner says an autopsy conducted more than 2 weeks later showed no signs of those injuries. Robinson's attorney said it was conducted too late and after she was.
That would have nothing to do with the time. Are these folks
involved?
It was not taken seriously until the people had to say, hey, we're not going to accept that this is just what it is.
The U.S. Attorney's Office says there's not evidence to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that a crime was committed. But the case out of Mexico remains open, and that's one reason the Robinsons' attorney still has hope.
We're very disappointed, very deeply disappointed, but we're not deterred.
We learned today that the FBI did interview the people that went on that trip with Robinson. Her attorney is suing.
So this would make sense because I'm pretty sure they're talking about this North Carolina FBI, right? And if these people, part of this Cabo 6 folks, have connections with the FBI, this would kind of make sense here. Ernie says, you're right, Mama Dukes. Yeah. Wow. Okay, this is almost done here.
Ann Robinson says civil action is possible. She says she believes that the Mexican authorities and the U.S. are kind of ping-ponging back and forth, both claiming the ball is in the other's court. The State Department tells us they do not comment on extradition matters. Reporting live in Uptown.
Wow. All right, so wow. I don't know who to trust on this. That's why I say we stick to the, trust the truth. All right, so here's another story, and this one came out. Let's see when this one. We're gonna read this here. Yeah, they think they're slick. Slick. All right, I'm going to drop the link too. So if anybody want to come up here and say some stuff, offer something. Mama Dukes, if you want to expound on what you were saying as far as these people having some connections. All right, so here we go with this here. This is a story. Where's my date? This is 6 months ago. All right, so Shanquella Robinson's family is calling for suspects to be extradited to Mexico. A former FBI leader explains why that likely won't happen. Now, see, that's why I wanted to get those old videos, because that's in the beginning, back in November and December, early parts of December, they kept saying that, there's stuff that the FBI can do. Shanquella Robinson's family and their attorney are calling for the suspect killers to be extradited to Mexico, but a former FBI doesn't think that will happen. Charlotte attorney Chris Swaker, who formerly served as head of the FBI Criminal Investigation Division, told WCNC North Carolina is extremely rare for the U.S. to give a citizen to another country, especially if there are concerns of corrupt government. Swecker is not involved in the case, but has been following it closely. 25-year-old Shanquella Robinson died October while vacationing in Cabo San Lucas 5 months later. Her family is still pleading for officials to arrest the people responsible for her death. Timeline: Shanquella Robinson's death investigation developments. Okay, so it didn't let me click it over. Hold up. I'm gonna show y'all where I'm at too. And so this is the timeline. Just clicked on to the timelines and says timeline: Shanquella Robinson's death investigation. Here's everything we know related to Shanquella Robinson, the Charlotte woman who was killed after traveling to Mexico with a group of friends. And this is coming from Charlotte too here. So let me see. No, thanks out there. Let's see.
Roofing looking shaky? Solidify your home with a solid roof from Solid Roofing. Using
All right,
high-quality
Mama
materials
D.
covered by industry-leading warranties. See why thousands protect their home with a solid roof. Get your free solid roofing
Another
estimate
content
today.
creator was searching them. People
We are taking a closer look tonight at the letter attorneys for Shanquella Robinson's family just sent to the White House, demanding more action over her death in Cabo San Lucas in late October. You remember that she traveled with a group who then returned to the States, and they said that she died from alcohol poisoning, while the medical examiner's office says that she died from a broken neck. So this letter names the person attorneys say is a suspect, and she is another woman from this group. The letter says the woman is a suspect in what's called a femicide. So the Wilson Center says femicide is a specialized murder term in Mexico. It applies when the victim is female and there are other circumstances in her death showing she's targeted because she is a woman. It does include sexual violence if the victim and the suspect had an emotional, physical, or otherwise trust.
So if Dejanay is not transgender, why would they have to call it a femicide?
Relationship, and if the victim's body was publicly exposed or exhibited, and there are other circumstances that could be involved with this.
Exactly, so they can get them. Those are charges there. There's a whole plethora of charges. They've got a lot that they can get on there.
You don't exactly know which of these circumstances or how many authorities believe related specifically to Robinson's case, but we do know that video circulated after her death shows her.
Wow. Okay, so this came out March 16th. So this was before the FBI said, they weren't going to do nothing. So she's speaking as if there's something that we could do here in the U.S.
Naked and being attacked in a villa. And we also know she was supposed to be traveling with friends when she died. Now, this letter asks the president and also the Secretary of State to intervene somehow. They want to get Robinson's case resolved quickly. And the letter cites a couple of options, including extraditing the suspect to Mexico or requesting what's called concurrent jurisdiction with Mexican agencies. So that way, U.S. prosecutors would be able to bring the case into the United States.
Uh-oh. All right, we got a newbie here. Hey, Nicole. Nicole Thomas says, first time on your channel. All Sue Ann thinking about is getting a man. Woo! Now, see, everybody is on this woman for trying to get her a man. Let's see here. Nicole says, she's so desperate for a date, not about the case. But there's no case. There's no case. There is no case. And I haven't seen any, everybody keep talking about her trying to get a date. I haven't seen any of this evidence of her trying to get a date. And stuff like that. But what can she do? There's no case. There's no case. There's no case. Yep. So Sue Ann trying to get her a date. Why y'all hating on her trying to get a date? What's wrong with her trying to get her a date? All right, so let's see here. Let's go back to the beginning. Let's go see what my channel looking like. And thank y'all so much for liking, and welcome, Nicole. If anybody want to come up and talk about why Sue Ann don't need to be having no date, and she don't deserve a life. She don't deserve to have a life. Let's see here. I'm gonna find some cool little shorts that we could throw out here. That shows some attorneys saying that. Let's see. All right, here's something. We just doing this to keep it out there so we don't get distracted with because the fact is that Shanquella is only 25 years old, went on this trip and was taken out here in a brutal way, and that was videotaped for everybody to see. And that's what we want to focus on, and be offended and upset at that, because Sue Ann Robinson, she doesn't have any power. She has no power at all, none. Mexico lied. Mexico let the people go. In the beginning, Mexico said there was no foul play. Let me find one of these old videos when Mexico said there was no foul play at all, and they said they agreed with the alcohol poison and the police report and all that stuff, saying that it was alcohol poison and she died of cardiac arrest. All right, here's one right here. Let me show you that. Wait, go here. All right here. All right, so this here is,
He says the police report lists her death as cardiac arrest. It doesn't mention the severe spinal cord and neck injury.
The police do not have the authority to declare a cause of death. This has to be done by a physician. Here is the clue right here. Here's the red flag. Police report. Police report. And then look here, say 3 hours, right? Poor verbal response and died of cardiac arrest on the police report. And this was coming out back in November, December. And then when we started, saying that all this stuff here is baloney and stuff, that's when they switched it up. But in the beginning, this is how, we were all told that, could have been some corruption, some payoff and all that stuff. And that's why the police was leading this, but, they let them go. And they also supported them with this whole alcohol poison stuff.
Injuries that the death certificate lists as Shanquella's cause of death. The autopsy also doesn't mention alcohol. It states she died within 15 minutes of her injury and that Shanquella Robinson was found unconscious in her living room.
The autopsy should overrule the plea board.
All right, he said the autopsy should overrule the
response when the doctor arrived, and that she died within.
Letter states that federal murder charges could be brought in this case. What's the rationale for that?
You can sue in federal court for criminal if, in fact, there is a criminal law under federal law, or if there's a constitutional issue. And here, what the attorneys are trying to say is this was international, so that gets you in federal court. And also, they're trying to say that there was international commerce in the fact that the phone went from one place to the other place and there's evidence there. So they're trying to get the case back to the United States. They're trying to get the case in federal court.
And I told y'all that, right? That was our hope and prayer that we do something here. So to me, it seems like it's just the North Carolina, law enforcement that's saying no to this. So that's why I feel like we need to continue to level it up and get away from him, especially if Mama Dukes here is correct. And we can say that because other people have verified it. That how can we believe them? Like it should definitely be a conflict of interest, and some other state in this big country needs to do something about it, because on all these different shorts and all these different videos and stuff, they are clearly stating that there is something that can be done. The good old US of A. Because look at Mexico. Mexico just saying whatever it is to get the heat off of them.
Or if at all possible. And under the U.S. Code, murder is definitely a statute where you can.
Letter states that federal, and they never returned to the villa. Robinson's family believes that Jackson is most likely in the United States, and they're calling on the White House to either prosecute her here or extradite her back to Mexico. So, Terry, the family's letter states that federal murder charges could be brought in this case. What's the rationale for that?
They still never declared whose name was on for the extradition. They just slid in that it was Dejanay Jackson. That's why I'm saying Mexico know what they're doing. So now their hands are clean because they never named a suspect. So our imaginations just went on and ran wild with that and just assumed that they were talking about Dejanay. But we don't know that because they never named. They still to this day have yet to name a suspect. They playing with us, y'all. They really are. Uh-oh. I lost my page. All right, so we're gonna do a few more, and I just recognize that it's after midnight. But I like going back to the old stuff because this is where we have all of the true news, the truth before they started giving us the distractions and stuff like that. All right, what is this? Is it about winter? All right. And like I said, I'm just picking some random stuff here, y'all. Man, hold on. Okay, here's something. This is only 4 minutes. Uh-oh. Oh, okay. This is from the Sean Davy Way show. All right. And this guy actually gave me all right. And this here is back. All right. So this is before folks was talking crap. This is November 23rd. Let's see what was being said then. Too. And then again, too, I know that Gerald Jackson's energy has changed, too. And I like to show the old stuff to the new stuff and see like why and where these new perspectives have stemmed from. where all this is coming from. All right, so here we go. Sean Davy Way show. November 23rd. So this here is super fresh after the video has been out for, a few days now.
Everyone, and welcome back to your boy, the Sean Davy Way Show.
Yeah.
Make sure you hit the like and subscribe on the way in. Tap that bell if you would like to be notified of all of our future content. Today, I bring you another video on Shanquella Robinson. # justice for Shanquella.
Yeah.
In this video, this is allegedly Winter Donovan on her IG Live speaking on what happened to Shanquella. It is uncertain if this is before the autopsy or after the autopsy report that came out that let us know that Shanquella actually passed away of a broken spine versus alcohol poisoning,
Yeah.
because Winter does state in the video that that's how her spine got broken. Why that's a big question is because how did she know her spine was broken if this video, this live, was done before the autopsy report came out? To me, it's admitted guilt, knowing that alcohol poisoning was never the reason Shanquella passed away. But I'm going to let you be the judge of that yourself. So again, it is unclear if this live was made before or after the autopsy report, but let's get into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't rush her. You're thirsty. Talk about talk.
All right, so yes, she did have a fight that y'all see, and that's going viral. They were fighting because Quilla did some crazy shit while she was drunk.
All right, so just right there, right? Look how vague that is, right? What crazy shit did she do? What? And then emphasizing while she was drunk, just listen to the venom in the voice. I can hear venom.
So she basically told her to, let's fight. I don't want to drag you out of the bed. Quilla didn't want to, and that's how that happened. Unfortunately, she did die because of
Allegedly, Winter, if this is Winter, her live was interrupted due to her connection service, but she did state that Shanquella passed away from alcohol poisoning. So let's keep going.
So I don't know. Because y'all see something in the video don't mean that happened. They're just trying to cover it up.
She's telling us not to believe our eyes. Just because y'all see something in the video don't mean that happened. Wow. Don't trust your eyes. Trust me.
A broken spine and whatever else they're saying.
Wow. Whatever else they're saying, they pulled it back just a little bit. Wicked.
And whatever else they're saying.
Wow. Yes, no remorse for sure. You can hear the venom.
So let's keep going.
So I don't know. Because y'all see something in the video don't mean that happened. They're just trying to cover it up with a broken spine. And
wow, they're trying. Just because y'all see something in the video doesn't mean it happened. Wow. Just because y'all see, you saw, that don't mean nothing.
And whatever else they're saying.
Whatever else they're saying. Ugh.
You all like y'all. I was not fighting in the video. So the person that was fighting in the video is not up here, and she can only speak for herself. So until she gets up here, she can speak on her behalf.
Bad. That's what happened. That's how her spine broke. Stupid asses.
Winter calls the audience stupid. And on top of that, if you pay attention, Winter stated that I did not put my hands on anybody or fight anybody in that video.
Yeah, I heard
Specifically, she said that, meaning that you did put your hands on Shanquella. It just wasn't in that video. So she speaks on the video that's going to become viral because she stated that she did get into a fight. Shanquella did get into a fight while she was there. And she stated that the fight video was going to become viral. So again, it's unclear when this live was actually done. Was it before the autopsy or after? Because again, it's very confusing. What isn't confusing is that you hear no remorse or anything in Winter's voice. It's very narcissistic, as if she doesn't even care saying this story.
Yeah,
It's very, again, confusing, but I will keep you updated on everything that is coming out about this story.
Yeah.
We will be live later to dissect and go over this audio. I love you all. Until
All right. And now, like I said, November 23rd on that, right? That was before that was before a lot of this stuff was you know, they had time to think and change their story and all that stuff. All right, FBI officially. Okay, here's something here. When the FBI officially supposedly gotten involved. It's a short video too. We'll play a couple more of these little quickies. Couple more of these quickies. Uh-oh, hold up. Wait. Oh, never mind. I can't do that one. Did I? Let me put up my I'm kind of late with it. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act. 1976, allowances is made for fair use for the purpose such as criticism, comments, news reporting, teaching, scholarships, education, and research. Meanwhile, back at the ranch. All right, so I'm gonna just do, I think I just did that one or something else. Oh, okay. Here's something else. All right. Whoa. All right. So this here, Shanquella Robinson. Look what I found. Dude recording got more proof they were trans women. All right. Here we go. See there? That's why I say in the beginning, before all this stuff, you know, went, people was freely saying this, freely saying that that was a man fighting Shanquella. This here is dated. Oh, share screen. All right, this here is dated November 17th. Wow. So this is kind of like when the thing first came out. All right, this here is Healing Within. Okay. I'm not sure if I've ever played this person's video, so I'll edit mine and put @ in here for them.
I was looking at this her dad, Shanquella, I hope I'm pronouncing her name correct, his interview, and I looked at the video again. Okay, and so I took some still shots of this fight. Look at these nails. That's a man who clearly is recording the video. We didn't hear another female other than Shanquella and the quote unquote him, she in the video, right? This man or
I've never seen this video before.
Woman who's recording has nails.
But
okay, we clearly see some nails. And another thing that I caught was when she throws her down, right? She throws her down by her neck. So she kind of put her in a headlock, twists her around, and I took still shots of that as well.
Wow.
And throw her down on the ground. Could that have been when she broke her neck?
Yes.
Because we think that it's more footage to this, which I think it is, but this could have possibly been right here when she broke her damn neck.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you watch the video slowly, you see her grab her in a headlock and twist her around and throw her to the ground.
Twist, throw.
You see that? If people have been following me for a while, right? They know because I already shared the videos or whatever. I'm so happy I put my daughter in boxing early. For bitches like this, for him, she's and hims, if niggas or whoever, you know what I'm saying, want that? Yeah, you gonna get that, okay? Yeah. Women, we need to spend money and invest in things like this. So that we may be prepared for some jealous ass niggas or bitches who want to do something to us. I've been saying several times, again, if you watch my videos when I first started making videos, women, We buying purses, we getting our hair done, we getting our nails done, we big popping it, right? Make sure you got something to protect yourself.
Yeah.
Make sure what's so hard. We want to go and take up some damn dancing classes and striptease classes and pole dancing. And okay, that's fine and dandy. Well, shit. Yeah, you need to take some motherfucking classes that's going to be beneficial for you in case some shit jump down like this. I wish a bitch would try to walk up on me like that. Yeah, I think this cute face is just cute all by itself if you motherfucking want to. Yeah. I wish a bitch would try to walk up on my daughter and try to do anything to her. Yeah, they're going to be in for a rude motherfucking awakening. Okay? Yeah. Yeah, we need to be prepared for motherfuckers like this.
Wow.
Okay? Yeah, because walking around with that motherfucking $700 purse ain't finna save your motherfucking life. Right? Yeah. Walking around in that motherfucking, you know what I'm saying, 3-story house with the backyard, motherfucking jacuzzi and pool, right? Yeah. Gated fence, picket fence,
Interesting.
right? Up in that motherfucker with nothing.
That this lady is talking about this back November 17th.
To protect yourself with walking around that bitch ain't finna protect you if somebody try to come in there and do something to your ass. You have something in there to protect you. Do things and spend money and invest in things that are going to motherfucking protect us. Because we got motherfuckers, people out here like this who sideline hating on the low and been and tried to pull some shit like this on our asses. And they'll be in for a goddamn rude awakening, yeah, trying to do some shit like this. Now, had this girl would have thought to, you know what I'm saying, take up some self-defense classes.
She didn't have a chance. You can totally tell that this Dejanay person is trained. Though every move was precise and executed with perfection. And being an XY chromosome is going to give more strength and quickness that, you know, unless she's like a master in jiu-jitsu, you know, and used to being able to fight back with bigger, stronger people, there's no chance here.
Or she would have told that ass up. Old girl would have been in for a rude goddamn awakening. Yeah, they would have tried to do something else because they was her friends. So they would have known that, oh, we can't fist fight with her ass because we already know her ass is going to come through with that 1-2 on that ass. Yeah, we going to have to set this up a whole totally different way. Yeah, we going to have to go on and take her out another way other than these fists. Okay? But this was a man, and look at them nails. And people saying that these ain't no trans and they not gay. If you look at the shoulders and the arms of this man who holding the motherfucking camera, you'll see them nails is on a man hand. Okay, yeah, a man arms. Yeah, look at the arm. You can see the arm too. Okay, go back to the video and look. All right? Go back to the video and look at it. And again, all of the motherfuckers. And the guy who came out with the video, yeah, he's sus too, and he on the motherfucking down low. Yeah, what you hanging out with other gay trans women for if you a straight man? Yeah, no, you ain't finna, yeah, y'all sus. Yeah, y'all sus. So was this a woman holding this motherfucking phone? That was a man talking, right? That was a man clearly talking. That wasn't no woman. What the fuck he got nails on for? Yeah. Y'all see the nails clear as day. And I was trying to play this shit out in my head. See, they stupid. Now, if they would have recorded this in the middle of the fighting, then we would have had to try to guess, like, okay, did she say something? You know what I'm saying? Did she take the first punch and the other girl, they just start fighting? Bitch, you know what I'm saying? No, we see clearly the first beginning of how this motherfucking fight started. You can see the girl standing there.
Yeah.
So what they do, and she naked.
Yeah.
What was going on in there? She was naked. Did they just come to the door? Was she with somebody in the room already doing something? Was they in the room with her while she was naked? What was going on prior to them pressing that record button is what the fuck I want to know. That's what I want to know. She was naked. What they do tell you, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Fuck this shit, bitch. I'm right. Well, I want to know what was the question. It had to.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's a little, I can't really get, it's a little long-winded here. What's going on? Terrence James says, math and science bombshell. The number of women in their 20s and how many of them have kids. Dejanay is not the only transformer, allegedly. Okay, well, according to this lady, apparently not too, you know? Yeah. Let's see. Betty, hey, what's up, Betty? Betty Yellick says, hello, beautiful RN, and everyone in the chat. How are you doing tonight? Yeah, we're just kind of doing some recapping tonight so we can get back on the focus of, you know, Justice for Shanquella and not worrying about what the other stuff is going on here. And some more shouts to the people up in here. Yeah, we're having a raw. That's right. So, yeah, thank y'all so much. Let's see here. We'll try to. I was thinking she's going to tell some more information, but this just sounds like just talk here. Let me. I'll just let her finish up here. Oops, where is it at? There we go. Okay, so we'll just let's see if she's saying some more stuff.
Be a question, or bitch, you sleep on my man, or bitch, you about the fight? I mean, like, how? Don't seem like it was too much. Did y'all catch her off guard? What was the?
All right, let's see here.
What was going on? Did this happen the second day? Did this happen? We could see in the background, it was still some sunlight out, looking through the balcony door. Outside, that beautiful view you can see, right?
It sounds like just
what makes me put two and two together to confirm that they was gay, they was trans.
Okay, what?
Then to see these nails and this man talking.
All right, so that is not definitive proof of someone's gender. When I, you know, made the statement that this is a transgender, I showed y'all because of the skeletal makeup, right? So not hands or not a definitive way to determine someone's sex. The skeletons, like I've said before in prior videos, if they found skeletal remains in the woods, they can determine from the skeletal remains if it's male or female by the pelvis bone. The pelvis bone of a female is going to have it's going to have a tilt, and it's going to have this design because this is where the baby kind of hangs out at. It's going to have an S shape in the spine with the little tilt in this here pelvis like this. A man's going to be flat because they're not designed to carry children. That's the only way that you can definitively tell, you know, because some women could have some masculine hands, or, you know, that's not a way to tell, and you can't just use that. So I showed, you know, even the width of the shoulders, because the clavicle bones on a male is longer because the male's shoulders extends out. Women, our clavicle bones, is bone here, is short. Our arms drop right out of our shoulders. They just come and drop right out. Male's going to extend and then drop. That's why their arms are longer. They have a longer reach because of this design there. So, and like I said, I hadn't seen that video. It was in my collection here, but I hadn't watched it. So I thought it was gonna, you know, have some more science behind it, and stuff like that. But sounds like it was just some speculation, which was some speculation of some stuff that we kind of already knew, and people were already saying that they were, you know, trans and bi and down low, or, you know, all that stuff, part of the alphabet group. I don't know, they're all saying it in there. And Betty is saying some haze and greeting to the people here. Betty Yellick says, we need justice for Shanquella Robinson. Yes, we do. And we need to do the top 10, the list that we put out there as far as like continuing to level it up, to talk to high level diplomatic intervention is needed here. Empress Sharon, how you doing, Sharon? Kearney says, fact, we definitely need to invest in protecting ourselves. I agree. Taking some self-defense classes, back in the day, I did take karate, study some karate. I have a purple belt, but definitely that, and being comfortable with firearms, being comfortable shooting them, going to fire range to, get comfortable shooting these firearms. I had an opportunity to go to a shooting range and, feel comfortable like loading it, feeling comfortable, using it, touching it, working with it and stuff. And also having the self-defense as far as like knowing some skills so you will feel comfortable using it too, So it's definitely comfort in knowing how to protect yourself and defend yourself. It says, Betty says she was not a fighter. Exactly. And then too, if you're looking there standing, at a delusional male who, is angry, what are your chances, who's towering over you also too, so yeah, never stood a chance. All right, so let's see how we just did that one. I'll do one more, then I'll let y'all get some rest along with me. Okay, let's see here. Two lone suspects arrested. Okay, for that takeoff murder. Here is now I'll just do, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up because it's midnight, after midnight. And I just wanted, like I said, to continue to show support and not let this go, because I was silent for like the last month because I had heard about, this Tubi movie that came out, and the people were not wanting for folks to talk about it, or at least that's the rumor that's going out. And I think that comes out to try to discourage people, and the enemy wants us to give up on this and to, let it go and not stay focused on the true facts, the fact that Shanquella was neck was broken with someone's bare hands, and those people are still walking around today with no justice being served, and no one's been held accountable for it. So we will continue to lift our voice, demanding justice for Shanquella Robinson, and we won't give up. We won't give up. And like I said, I'll do some more research too off into those 10 tips that I did the little research to get on what we can continue to do to demand justice, because being an American citizen should give some type of something, and not only was she just an American citizen, she was a contributing member of society. She had businesses, she was well liked, she was a good person, and we want to make sure that we keeping our voices lifted for our sister. So until another time, probably tomorrow I'll come back too, and we'll talk some more about it. And I'll see y'all soon in another video. Love y'all, and see you soon.